Now, the next thing we're going to make, the next pattern piece we're going to make here is our pleat that's going to expand the bag. We know that the top of our bag is about 2¼ 2 inches, but we wanted to expand to 4. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. The very first thing you want to do is to go ahead and get your 4. I've already kind of did a little bit here, but I'm going to show you. Of course, you start with a folded piece. And our first measurement, I'm going to go a little bit, is for the 4. Okay, because this right here represents where our zipper is going to go, and it originally, of course, is about let's see what we got here, 2¼ inches. Okay, that's the width of our, basically our gusset, 2¼ inches, and we want it to open to 4. So what we're going to do is go ahead and measure over the 4 and pin. Now at the bottom, we want it to get kind of narrow because you won't be able to sew into that. So we want to get it narrower. So what we're going to do is, since we know this is pretty much the gusset here, we're going to come over to about, looks like we got it at about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5/8, and we're going to pin. And so this represents our window. And as you can see, I've marked the window. This is where it's going to fold. Okay, that's where that window is going to fold. Okay, so now we need the expansion part of it, and now we have our 4, and we're going to go over, and we made it about 5/16 down here at the bottom, down to the bottom, and you'll see this come together as I cut out the windows. And so this area here is the additional expansion, and it's going to open up to 4. Now we need seam allowance, and our seam allowance is this right here, because we need somewhere to sew it on. We need to, of course, be able to sew it on. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut this, and our zipper stay will start to come together. Now, if you were making this a little bit off there, if you were making this out of fabric, you would eventually, or even a thinner leather, this would be your stay to make that pleating occur. So the next thing we're going to do is make the windows. So I need a little hang on. So I'm going to start a little bit below, and I can take this out later. Okay, so, and this, what I mean by hang on, is it keeps it attached while you're gluing it. So I want to cut this window out here. So let's go here, and I'll cut a little window, a little hang on there, and I'll do a little hang on here, and I'll pluck that out when it's all in place, glued in place, and then that area will stay attached until I'm ready to glue it in. So let's go from here to here and stop. And then let's go from here to here and stop, and then down to the bottom. do that there. And we will do that. Try not to cut through. So we'll hang. Oh, there we go. I lost it. I cut through it anyway. But you get the general idea. Let's see if we get this one to work. Sometimes I like to continue to use my straight so that I don't cut my fingers. Well, I think you'll get the general idea of what I was trying to do here. Let me pull this one out. There. And pull this one out. And let's go down here and see if we can do it here a little bit better. I probably could have made mine a little bit longer. I mean, a little bit wider, so as that they would hold together. But you're going to be able to get the general idea. Just make them a little wider, and as you can see how they actually hold it together. And let's down here. Be careful. I've kind of been doing this a long time, so I guess you might say I'm pretty good at cutting freehand. But you know, use your ruler, steel ruler, as much as you can to protect your fingers. Okay, here we go. There. Then right up here at the top. Okay. And this is pretty much generally the way you want it to go. And this is how it's going to fit. And then here you would, let's see, we're going to kind of score it. And then I kind of will show you how it attaches. It's going to attach to basically the gusset. Okay. Now the pattern piece will sit back. Well, I could have did it the other way, but well, let me go ahead and do it on this side. So it'll fold the right way so you can get my meaning. Just lightly do that over there. And just a light score. And then we'll turn this. So let me grab these little pieces out. Okay, and this is how you kind of want that to look for your setup. And then when you glue this to your fabric, this is or your leather, it will be like this. Oops, let me get it. Delicate pattern piece here. And it'll be like this. And this is what you will sew to your inside of your gusset area. And it will attach like this. And then this will close to here, and then spread open like that. So this will stay flat, and then it will open up like this. Okay, and that's how you do it. Now the deal is, though, you're not going to be able to sew it like that, because once you sew this on, it's going to create a tunnel. When you start this, you can do one edge, but you won't be able to do both of them. So what you end up doing is you end up splitting it like this. You end up splitting it in half. After you've gotten this, you end up splitting it in half. And this will become your leather, and this is what you'll be, this is your seam, and this, there's an area here for your stay. This is like just basically one half of it, sort of like that. Okay, so this is a little bit different because I use the 3/8 of an inch. I use less seam allowance. So that's what you, more seam allowance. So that's what you want, like this. Okay, and this would be your seam allowance here. Okay, so that's what we got, and this would be your stay, and you would literally glue this to your material, and then it will move. And you can see that in the bag. You can see that happening in the bag itself. So this is your 2 1/4, and then when you zip down, it opens. Okay, let's see that again. So now I didn't put a stay in here, and that's why it's expanding. Plus, I didn't skive this leather really thin, so that's why it's pushing out. But if it's thinner material, skive the leather, put the stay on, and this will all bend up like this. And then when you open it, you get your full 4 inches.